out. Let me see if I can switch. Yeah, there's no way to unzoom. How do you unzoom? Why is it doing this? What the frig? Show live. Yeah, that's way too zoomed in. That's so zoomed in. Why is that? Don't do that anymore. Stop that. It's not supposed to be this zoomed in. Oh, did it work? Did it work? Hey, there we go. Hey, Adam, what's going on this morning? So I figured it out. It's a Zoom thing. Like it's basically a bookie check. Before you go live, I thought it was a glitch, but it zooms really close to your face so that you could do a pre-broadcast boogie check. Make sure you don't have any danglies coming out of your nose or up your nose or anything. Make sure the whole thing is clear for launch. It's a thank you very much, Haps, for thinking of these things. Those guys are so great. But good morning. Let's do this right. It is 9:06 a.m. Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Internet. This is 3231. It's the 9 a.m. chill. My name is Matt. And before we begin, hey, how you doing? How's your day? What's going on? So good morning to you guys. It is Saturday, March 13th. Again, 9:07 a.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. I'm in lovely Lewiston, Auburn, Maine. Look at it's sunny, quaint little Main Strip thing going on there, you know? Rather nice. So we got that going for us, which is nice. But yes, I am Matt. Thank you everybody for watching all over the internet. We are live right now on Facebook Live and Twitch and Twitter Live and Periscope for the next couple weeks. The temperature currently is, where's the temperature thing? I don't have a good vantage point from this point. There is a time and temperature thing up the street, but I can't find it. Fail. Maybe I can do it. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can look it up on my phone. Hold on one second. 28 degrees. All right. Am I still on the air? I'm still on the air. It is currently 28 degrees here in Lewiston, Auburn, Maine. Doesn't appear to be a cloud in the sky. Nice and sunny. Almost spring-like temperatures. Pretty nice. I'd say there's a fair wind blowing through, nice breeze. It's a bit chilly. Jacket weather for sure. And I only wear I'm still live. I know, isn't that great? I can actually switch from my phone. That's okay. So that's a big difference between Periscope and Haps. Periscope, not really putting you down, man, but I can get to the main screen of my phone. I can switch to something else. I can check the temperature on my phone. That's pretty awesome. Pretty cool. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And there is going to be a delay just because that's the way it is right now. Latency issues. Haps is in beta. But yeah, let me say that we're being broadcast simultaneously on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Periscope, thanks to the great folks at Haps. It's an app that's in development. They're in beta right now. We're providing this broadcast to you. Thank you very much, Haps. If you would like to, I would very much recommend that you download the Haps app. You get a Haps account. It's free to sign up, to log in. You'll be notified when you subscribe to me that I'm going live, but you can do that also if you're on one of the other apps. But Haps is pretty cool. I think it's a good thing. That's coming in. Facebook just told me you're live, but I'm staying in Haps. Yeah, so it's the internet. It happens sometimes. It's not going to be the most convenient thing ever, but when you put it in perspective, the fact that we get to have a conversation together at all over through the internet is pretty amazing. And it looks like it's good signal as well. So, but yeah, it is Saturday. I'm in a fairly good mood because I got my coffee this morning, and come to find out, my stimulus check came in. So a little bit of relief for the citizens of America. And a little bit of relief is nice. Hello to everybody around the world too, because that's one of the cool things. It's one of the cool things about this, is that we get stuff going on. We get to talk to people all over the world, and I've made some new friends. I got on TikTok, posted a couple posts, getting some friends on there as well, building up the community little by little. All we need is Aaron to join us. Aaron would be great. Tate, I would love to see Tate. I would love to see Jenna. I'd love to see Stuart and Chris and James and John and just Liz, Bilbo, Haruko, all my buds. I miss everybody. Everybody needs to jump on here. Maybe one of these days. And I figured on Saturday more than any other day, this could work. Well, no, I guess Sunday would be, well, I don't know. I don't know how everybody lives their life. Everybody can live their life however they want, man. I come by, don't come by, I'll come by. I'm gonna say, don't not come by. It'd be cool to see everybody. Nobody has to stick around for very long. I miss Anne. I miss, I mean, I've said this before, you know, it's not the thousands of people that have subscribed. It's not the thousands of people that have joined. Adam is here, so that's a good thing. Absolutely, sir. I appreciate you, man. It's not so much the thousands of people that have followed me as much as it is the like 70 or 80 people that come around. I appreciate that as well. I know that people have their lives. Everybody's on a different schedule. Like it's in the afternoon right now, in across the Atlantic, in other parts of the world. I mean, that's fine. Not a problem. 19 people have watched me so far. 19 people have tuned in already. If they say hello, that's fantastic. If they don't, at least they know I'm on, and that they can come and hang out with me. And it's always nice to make new friends. If anybody wants to follow, I really hope that they do. And I hope to see some new faces. I want to see people from TikTok coming in here going, "Hey Matt, I saw you on TikTok, and I followed you, and I saw your post that you broadcast." That's going to be cool. Get people dropping in from there. We need these people to chat. I know. That's one of the cool things about it. I don't know if people get that like we can communicate with each other live. But that's the reason why I come in with things to talk about. That's the reason why I have the idea in my head already of things to discuss, because the possibility exists. I mean, I'm a nobody right now still on the internet, but I want to be professional. I want to be informative, you know, have some sort of significant, like have a little bit of steak, not just sizzle kind of thing. Have some substance to my broadcasts. So I've come prepared. I don't want to go into this half-assed, and I feel like, if I may be honest, which I feel like I can always be honest on here, if nothing else. There have been times where I've just come in half-assing it. No, I mean, I've said so much. I've said, you know, I really got nothing planned. I got nothing. Nothing's really going on with me. I just wanted to stop in, and you know, nothing more to inform, nothing more to report. First time listener, long time caller from Ohio, Florida. Ohio, Florida. I've never been to Ohio, Florida. It's very interesting too. That's a good point. Uh, when I was on Periscope, I was really amazed at how many people followed me and watched me from Ohio. Like, I'm curious about that. Why that is? A lot of Ohio people. I'm not a bad thing whatsoever. It's just it's very interesting. It's kind of cool though. Like people in Ohio really like me. Shout out to Day Day and my friends up in Ohio. But yeah, I actually have a bunch to talk about today. One of the cool things yesterday was I had a conversation with my buddy Ben, and we've been kind of doing our own thing, and he's been going to school, and we're everybody's living their own lives, sort of things. So you just lose touch, just because you're caught up in your own stuff. Um, Busy living your own life. That's cool. What up, playa? Facebook user, no name, no face. Please identify yourself. What up, playa? 3231 Bree is from Ohio. I miss Bree. She doesn't. I don't think she likes me anymore for some reason, which is very sad. She broke contact with me and pretty much ended that. No idea why, but I don't know if she's still around. I don't know if she's still broadcasting. Kind of broke my heart, but that's not my choice. I can choose to be a part of people's lives, but if they don't want me to be a part of their life, then that's their choice to make. So what have you. Yeah, a lot of people. Justin from Leesburg D&D, dude, my old D&D group. Hello, sir. How are you, buddy? Good morning. One of the things I wanted to talk about today was my role-playing game. My friend Ben and I talk about a lot of things that kind of. Bree's still around. We text every now and then. Tell her I said hi, and just see if you can figure out the reason why she refuses to have me in her life anymore. Just curious. Like, she probably thinks I'm a creep or a perv or something. I don't know. Good to see you, man. Good to see you too, man. Or don't. You know what? Don't. Let's. If it's her decision, I don't want to. I don't want to rehash things. I don't want to. No. Come to think of it, Adam, don't. Like I said, if somebody doesn't want me to be a part of their life, then I don't want to. It's no use in dwelling on that. Better to just like, okay, she's not in my life anymore. So, don't worry about that. Because you bring it up, and if she doesn't like me for whatever reason, then it just make her feel like, I don't know. Not even a problem. But getting back to getting back to the other subject. So Ben and I were having a conversation. We usually have conversations, which we were talking about getting a podcast up and going again. Maybe him coming on. And we would talk about, you're going to Snapchat with her? Okay. Well, have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. We would talk about a lot of different things that just some of the conversations we have deal with like existential stuff, different philosophical stuff, different spiritual stuff, technology, science, the future, like the conspiracy, like a lot of those things that we both have kind of a nerdy interest in. He's super into it, and I'm casually into it, but like, how can I put this? It's good content. It's fantastic content, things to make you think, and like big picture ideas and stuff. Pretty cool, but also it's relevant. to in a certain perspective, like it's information. Okay, I'm trying to think of how you can describe that. It's information that you can apply to other things. Like there's a link in like if we're talking about science, or we're talking about like the concept of magic and the concept of philosophy and spirituality and all that stuff, it applies to role-playing games, like your adventure party and stuff. Like we're talking about permaculture and a community and how people can live, and the infrastructure. There's a pattern to it that matches. There's a specific thing, like a community is a group of people, like a tribe, a small group that each has their own function and can work towards a common goal, survival, not just survival, but thriving. And that it's a good, like the framework of a community is like a one person or a small group of people that each has their own duty, their own function, and they work together. And maybe they have people working under them and stuff like that. Morning, Matt. Morning, Chris. How are you, sir? And it follows the same framework, the same structure as like an adventure party, or I had also mentioned like a starship crew kind of a thing. You know, you have a captain just like you have a dungeon master. You have a command crew, like somebody working tactical, medical, and science and engineering and all that stuff, just like you would in a community have like a group of people that are responsible, or like a government or something like that, some sort of administration that's in charge of these certain things. Just like an adventure party has a healer and you know, someone that is good for fighting, someone that's good for long range, someone that's good at sneaking and picking locks and stuff like that. Like there's a pattern, you know. There is I hate it when I can't think of a word. Pattern is the closest thing I can think of right now, but where it's very similar in structure, in that I'm like, there's something there. There's something about that. Or you could say an adventure party, if you look at it that aspect, there's certain similarities to running, you know, running a party as opposed to running like a starship, as opposed to running a regular community. There are things that apply. You know, you have to consider all options, and everyone has a. Thank you for the award, Adam. 15 cents, appreciate it, sir. If you want to run a community, there's something to that about having a small group of people, and then like say 5 people. It's a great number for a starship crew. It's a great number for an adventure party and a role-playing game. It's a great number for like a tribal council, where everyone is in charge of their own thing. They have 5 people each underneath them. Good morning, Aaron. How are you, dear? There is a great. It's a great number. And I feel like there's something there. You know, someone's in charge of medicine, someone's in charge of you know, farming, agriculture, someone's in charge of, you know, the finances, or, you know, making sure that we have enough resources. Someone's in charge of you know, import and export. Someone's in charge of you know, commerce. So Starship Lockjaw, brr, what? And so Ben has certain interests like permaculture, which, like I said, there's something to it because it's all about maximizing what you have, what resources you have, in order to help a community thrive. And as opposed to having an empire where 1 or 2 or 10 people are in charge of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. There's something to going back to a tribe, going back to small communities, going back to these little circles of people that take care of each other and help each other and make their decisions on a small scale. And if we have everybody doing that, and the infrastructure of it works, it can apply to many people. So it's the reason why local government works and state governments work, as opposed to national governments, which have their problems because they're looking on a large scale and they're too far away from the problems that happen locally, kind of thing. That's the reason why we have those levels. Boom. Adam, thank you. 50 cents. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you for the award. I appreciate you as well. So it's just something really fascinating about that. And like I said, getting back to like a role-playing game, it's kind of cool when you see a pattern, when you see something that works like that. If I don't know who knows that. I don't know, other than, like, I don't even know if gamers realize that the Adventure Party framework applies to people as well. And that's something that I want to talk to Ben. I'd love to get on here and talk about it so that other people can hear about it as well and see it as well. So we're going to do some sort of video thing where he can record it, and then we can kind of turn it into a podcast as well, so people can listen to it if they're not interested in seeing it live or being involved live. Of course, it'll be available, since if we're using HAPS and he's calling in, it'll be available online, on Twitch and on YouTube and Facebook and everything as well. But there's something to that. I really feel like if we explore that dynamic of an adventure party, against, like I said, the Starship Crew / Adventure Party dynamic, he's really into, Ben's really into the building, the farming and commerce, trade, how this can work across the board, across a nation of people, or he says something about 150 people kind of a deal. I forget. Oh man, I wish he was on here, because he could give me if I said it, he could explain it better or elaborate on that. But I guess the best way I can put it is, Ben said something about how a community is good at a number of about 150 people. That's a good tribe number. That's a good number of people in a small community that can work together. That's how many people it takes in order to make something work, where you have, if you have workers, people donating a certain amount of time, and like I said, with permaculture, the whole idea around that is managing time, managing resources, managing man hours, using everything to its fullest potential to not only sustain life, but to be not fruitful, what's the word? Have an abundance. It's possible for people to do what's the minimum amount of work people can do with the maximum amount of quality, the maximum amount of efficiency, the maximum, use of space, just to make it a community flourish. I really dig that. And what's got me hooked is the part about, a small number of people. I like the idea of nomad living. I like the idea of whatever you can do, you can do on the move. Take whatever it is you can think of and make it mobile, make it transportable. Like, it's an interesting idea that I want to present to Ben and see if we can focus on that. What's the good number of people? How do you make it possible to make it small? You know, not necessarily small, but just portable. Can you make a community portable so you can travel around, follow the weather, just like the Native Americans did, just like all these nomadic tribes did way back when, where you spend a season in an area, you grow your crops, you do your thing, you go hunting, you do, you know, you gather your resources, and you take your time, and you put in your hours, you spend time with your family. You know, you're teaching your family at the same time that you're gathering resources so you can take care of yourself in the other seasons. Using the land, but not taking away from the land. In fact, helping and not sustaining yourselves, as well as helping your environment flourish, helping it grow. How do we figure out a way that a community of people can travel to a specific area for a season, make what they want with the land, and leave it better than they found it? You know, leave that area better than when they arrived. More plants, better, better soil, the cleaner water, cleaner air, why not lean towards that future? A lot of buildings get made, and then they get torn down, and then other buildings get put up, and then, like, everybody's buying. There's a habit that I've seen over the past 15 years. Well, honestly, it's been longer than that, but rather than using something that already exists, people buy more land to build more buildings. You know, Lord knows we need more churches and banks and strip malls. And then the economy fails for one reason or another, and then everybody pulls out of the strip mall because they yanked up the rent. As that, good morning, Jenna. Good morning, Myrna. How are you? Good morning, my dear. We don't need more strip malls. We don't need more churches and banks. And I've seen banks that have turned into churches. And I've seen, the people don't reuse buildings. They just buy more property, and just keep the buildings there. And, only recently have I started to see, like, old mills and old factories and stuff being converted into apartments and stuff, which is not bad. Kids still asleep. Gotcha. It's not all bad. Some buildings are being repurposed. Some old train stations and stuff like that, like historical buildings, have been turned into, little shops and stuff like that. So there is some of that refurbishing, I guess you'd say. What's the word I'm looking for? We still have our old Kmart building not being used. Yeah. So that would stay, the old Kmart, with like 7 other, like there used to be the Kmart with the laundromat and the Hungry Howie's or whatever pizza place, and the pet store and the hardware store, and everything. The Kmart went under, and so they're gone. And then little by little, the little shops that were attached to that little strip mall with the little Kmart, they all decide to leave, and maybe something shows up. maybe a craft store shows up for like a year or two, and then it goes away, and then nobody uses it. And so this big, huge parking lot, huge strip mall, nobody's using. Do they use it again? Do they rebuild? Do they do anything with it? No. They buy another piece of land someplace else, and that's going to make everything better. Some strip malls are being converted into apartments, senior living. That's what happened in Oviedo, the mall we went to. Oh, all right. I also that's the thing that I heard is Ben was telling me that in Knoxville there used to be this big mall in Knoxville that was gone for the longest time, and it seemed like a shame. Amazon is going to acquire it and turn it into a distribution center. That's more jobs for the community, and that's fine. That's not well converting the Sears to that. Yeah, that's cool. I thought that that's something that they should do anyways. All these malls and stuff, these standalone malls with all this parking, turn it into a community. You have the space. You put like a nice little water feature fountain or whatever like that, little park type of area in the middle of it, and then you have all these. You can have apartments, you can have restaurants, and what do people need? People need to exercise and of course, let's see, sleep, eat, shit, keep active, do something with their time, hobbies or what have you. So you could have community like the restaurants and little shops and cute little things you can do, and you can make little isolated communities. That would be fantastic. Maybe you can work as an Amazon driver. Maybe. Have you checked out Paramount Plus? Not yet. So that'd be cool. A doctor's office, a gym, movies, yeah, exactly. Yeah. As a matter of fact, it kind of reminds me, I want to say it was on Reddit, but they featured like a senior living type of area that had built into it like a little like a mall, like a wing of this senior living area had a strip that had like a little mini movie theater. Like you go down this hallway, it's indoors, it's a hallway, but it looked like a small like city street. Oh, not a city street, but like a plaza, I guess you could say. That's probably the good word for it. They painted the ceiling blue and the clouds and stuff like that, but it had like down this hallway, all these doors had little framework around it, so it looked like a shop front, a storefront, and it had a little marquee over one door to make it look like a movie theater, and it was actually a small home theater kind of a thing. That's kind of neat. Have people go for a walk, and there'd be like down this hallway, the lamp posts and like a little sidewalk and benches and stuff like that. That's kind of cute. That sounds awesome. Why didn't think of building seniors a mini community around their housing? Yeah, exactly. A place for them to get up and go, make them feel like they're walking through a town. Do some window shopping indoors, kind of thing, in a safe environment. That'd be cool. I think they absolutely should do that. But the putt golf, yeah, right. You're right. Yeah. Oh, I got to take a trip to to see my doctor. I got to go check the mail. So rather than just getting mail slid under your door of your room, you can get up and walk down the hallway, head down the little what would you call it, thoroughfare or whatever, and you head to the post office, which is this looks like a storefront. You actually go in and ask for your mail and stuff like that. So you feel like you're still you're still among people, kind of thing. Mini grocery store. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Like an old village market or something like that. I grew up. I like your new logo sticker behind you. That one right there. Thank you. I dig it too. Strip joints. 323 one store, things like that. Well, if somebody wants to go to a clothing store, you could actually have a clothing store or a jewelry store or something like that. And the jewelry store could just be like, necklaces and bracelets and stuff like that you make, like a craft store kind of a thing, or mini post office so they can mail things to family. Yeah, exactly. Um, a bar. You could have a little bar, um, a little tavern, a pub kind of a deal. People can come in and sit and relax and have a drink with some friends and socialize, and it's all safe because you're right down. You're in technically in the same building, in the same facility. But it would make you feel like you're in a community kind of a thing, not just like a glorified hospital or like a glorified dorm room or something like that. I think that'd be fantastic. A pump house for seniors. A pump house? Pump house or pimp? A brothel? Is that the word you're looking for? Are you suggesting a brothel? Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, if the goal is to make people feel better, put it to a vote. Put it out to the community. See how they respond. If the seniors want it, well, by golly. Um, like an internet cafe kind of deal where it's actually like a coffee shop, coffee house kind of thing for people to enjoy. I know that's going to be a thing. One day we're all going to be seniors. If I were a senior, well, I'm a little different, but for the most part, old people are going to be different in 20 years. But to be serious for a second, I've actually delivered. When I was a courier down in Florida, I would deliver to a few senior centers and like hospice and stuff like that. And I used to do payroll and prescription medicine. Some of the prescription medicine went to like hospice and senior homes and stuff like that. And it broke my heart to see. I've seen one too many near catatonic seniors in wheelchairs in hallways, like just there. I don't know. I don't know how to can. I need to learn. Canning vegetables, canning fruit, vegetables. Um, yeah, I've seen one too many people just left in a hallway in their wheelchair, just sitting there staring at the wall. Like I said, near catatonic. It's really bad. People shouldn't have to be that way, you know. And just a little thing like that. Yeah, my grandfather didn't want that. We took him home so he could be comfortable. Yeah. If you were to have a facility where it's necessary for them to have medical attention readily available in case of anything, how can we get a Matt sticker? I don't have any merch. Maybe someday we can do that. Someday we'll do that if that's really something people would want. Taking a little bit more time and a little bit more effort to create that sort of environment, like a contained community sort of thing where it's safe, but people still feel like they're walking down a city street or a town, the main drag through town or something like that, like a village kind of a setup. Of all those things that we talked about, doctor's office and movie theaters and post office and coffee houses and all these cool things like that, little mini parks and benches and stuff like that. It would take a little effort, but I think that would make a big difference for a lot of people. Did Tate make it? Did Tate make that? Yeah, that's a magnet she made for me. Yep. One Matt sticker and 3231 shirt. At some point, I have to find the capital for that. You know, my money is going towards survival at the moment, but who knows what the future holds? Who knows if, maybe somewhere down the line, the PayPal is always there. So if anybody wants to contribute for something, I can do it. I just need the money, and it's hard for me to do that on my own budget. But if there are people out there that are better off than I am, that could contribute a little bit, that's something that I have no problem in doing. That's one of the main things that I want in my life, is the ability to take donations and put it directly towards, things that people want, like cling stickers, or the window decals, or shirts, or hats, or buttons, or stickers, or whatever people want. Like, that's where it would go. So that would be something I would love to do. I just don't. You have 3231 shirts from back in the day? No. Those were made 10 at a time. In a new shirt, Jay washed it on hot. So is it tight fitting now? Those shirts were made by Teespring, I think, and they were made like 10 at a time. So people had to order a certain amount for a certain amount to be made, and people just stopped ordering them. You could fit her now. Nice. Yeah, so I had that going for a little bit, and then people just stopped ordering, and so they weren't available. They won't make them until the numbers just weren't there. So if 8 people wanted a shirt, they wouldn't get their shirt, because they had like how did it go? You could order a shirt as many as you want, and as long as 10 are ordered, they would be made. But if 10 weren't ordered in a certain amount of time, your money would be refunded. Maybe she did that on purpose. Maybe. So 8 people want a shirt, 8 people order a shirt, 8 people give the money, and then they wait for 2 more orders. And if the 2 more orders don't show up within like a week or 2, whatever the time frame was, then you'd get notified that the orders are not available because the inventory, the quantity wasn't met, and your money was returned to you. So that's how that went. Like paid for order. Yeah. I want 2 shirts. How much does it cost for 2 shirts? $10 each. I give you $20. They wait for 8 more people to order shirts, and if they're not ordered in a week's time or whatever, 2 weeks time, I get my $20 back, because not enough people, the minimum requirement wasn't met. It's a great deal. Like, it's a great a great method, but let's try it again. Come on. There's not enough people that want the shirt. I would like a couple shirts myself, but I just don't have the money. Like, I'd be in on part of the first 10 as well. Like, I want a couple shirts, but it's also, they're cheaper if more people buy them. So if people, I think that also put people off as well, where they're like, I don't want to spend $10 for a shirt. I'll spend $5 for a shirt or whatever. And you can spend $5 for a shirt, but then 50 people have to order, so that the price goes down. In fact, I posted on TikTok and on Instagram, I had a tie-dye design for a shirt that I'm like, oh man, I want it so bad. It's kind of like this. kind of like this color tie-dye, but it's got the 3231 logo on it. I'm like, oh, I would love that. No, don't bring up Brie anymore, Adam, please. Respectfully, don't bring up Brie anymore. Like, seriously, that it stings to think about it, because like it's like having somebody that was a really good friend, and all of a sudden they're like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, and then they cut ties like that. That hurts. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about her. Let's not mention her anymore. Like I said, respectfully, please don't. I'm a sensitive person, and I'm sorry if that irritates people, but that's the way I am. What else? Fuck. Now I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's a. I want to talk about happy things. I don't want to talk about that shit. So yeah, maybe somewhere down the line, maybe you know, like I said, I want to start hitting the social media a little more often. Make some new friends, get some new followers. You know, I want to focus on the content is there. The potential for really good content is there to talk about a bunch of different things. And like maybe I'm not doing it every day, but I'm starting to do this more often. So whereas last year I was kind of like, what's the fucking point? Because I was so down about everything. Now I'm feeling a little more hopeful. So I'm trying to continue with that sort of momentum. Too bad you're not in Knoxville anymore. Well, I'm going to get down there eventually. I hope to. The thing that was holding me back from traveling and doing the thing that I wanted to do was just do an evening broadcast. Again, I want to start to do that. I want to eventually get out there and start to do that. I would like to. Like maybe one. Okay. So a 10 o'clock broadcast, you know, like a morning broadcast, 10 to 11 sort of thing, would be what I want to do. And then like I don't know what, 4 to 5, 4 p.m., 6 p.m., something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't know what to do evening wise. That would be a good time, but yeah. It would be nice to eventually do that. 2 shows, an hour long each. We're going the week after Easter for 4 days to Pigeon Forge. Nice, very cool. What's the week after Easter? My brother and I are going down to Knoxville in I think April 19th. I think April 20th, somewhere around there. He wants to. We're gonna finally take care of the RV. Mike's gonna take care of it. Get off my hands. Do broadcasts when people are home from work. Well, okay, then let me say I'm totally for that. April 4th, 8th, I believe. G's birthday is the 7th. Nice. I would be so down to do a show, one show in the morning, one show in the evening, like an hour each. That would be great. Absolutely. I'm for it. Oh man, that was so sad. Somebody tried to parallel park and then said fuck it and drove off. I mean, there's enough room. He will be 8. Pretty soon, Jade will be graduating from college. Crazy. I miss your walking, exercising broadcast. Again, who knows what the future holds, man? When we can get back to doing something. Jade was 8 when I first started watching you. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Let's see in the next year what normal looks like. I honestly can't. I'm honestly not at a point where I can say, here's what the next 2 years is going to look like, what the next 5 years is going to look like. Because what's really that you could think about it, but what's the point in making plans when, you know, other than vague ideas, like a dream of a plan. You know, the plan is like, what would really be nice would be things lighten up and we can actually travel, and I can find a way to make some decent money to is it warm there now? Oops. Right now it's like 30 degrees here in Maine. Down in Knoxville, I imagine it's probably like in the 50s, maybe. No, the plan would be that I can start making a little bit of money, fix up the van a little bit. Up to 76 here yesterday. Nice. I'd like to, like I said, the van needs some work. Hello, Facebook user. Said, hey, Matt. Hi. Please identify yourself because your name's not showing up yet. Haps is working on it. But hello. You should do your Haps. You should do your Haps a mobile broadcast. What? Yes, I'd love to do Haps on the road. I feel like at this time that I'm able to focus on making a little bit of money and taking a little bit of time. Ian, what's going on, Ian? How you doing, man? I'm not really good at time management or money management, but every once in a while I start to gain a little bit of confidence in myself, and I think, let's give it a try. Let's take it easy and work on it. to give myself a little bit of time to make a little bit of money, and then to give myself a little bit of time to get on a broadcast and talk to people. You know, and I think this is working so far. Get out of the van, walk around, show us some scenery. Not a good thing to do around this time, but that is a good suggestion. I'm not saying it's a bad suggestion. I'm great. How you doing? I'm doing all right. Seriously, Annabelle, thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate that. Like I said, I want to do some work. I want to get some work done on the van, so it's possible that I can travel without having to worry about anything immediate. Figure out a way to make a little bit of money to cover my expenses, to cover my life on the road. And then as things ease up, I feel like that's something that'll happen down the road where I can start to think about that sort of thing. Figure out, I want to go back down to Tennessee for sure, but Kentucky and Ohio, Indiana, start visiting the other. Like, I've visited states along the Atlantic coast, but not inland very much, and certainly not up the Mississippi River kind of deal. I would like to do that. I want to finish up my eastern United States leg of travel, and then once I've visited the rest of the states on the east of the Mississippi, then start thinking about heading out west. For sure. I'm glad Ben and Nicole went to Knoxville and I was able to get some sort of a port in that state. So yeah, just having Knoxville as a base, as a forward operating base, or whatever you want to call it. Just to have that, to get comfortable in Tennessee, makes it so that it can branch out to Ohio or to Missouri, something like that. Like, I think it's been a while since I really thought about it, so I can't recall off the top of my head what areas. I know Kentucky for sure, because Kentucky was originally where I was going to go next. When you visit Ohio, I will be there with Aaron Masco. Hopefully, when I go to Ohio, I'll be able to visit a lot of folks. I don't know if there. See, that's the thing, is that the whole idea of a meetup 2 years ago was great. I mean, technically, a year ago, because all this mess started a year ago. But yeah. That's the intention, is to do like little meetups and stuff, so everybody can meet up, obviously. Duh. That's why they call it that, Matt. Idiot. But yeah, Kentucky is definitely on my list of places that I want to visit. I love being up in the mountains. Mountains and woods near water, like, get my nature on a little bit. Just I want to wear a mask, keep 6 feet distance, be happens anywhere. That's certainly a possibility. I want to get used to being on the road again. Because, for the past few months hanging out at my brother's, I love it. I love being with family and stuff like that. But not that it's a huge endeavor. Momo, oh my gosh, hello Momo. How are you, my dear? It's my Momo. How are you? We're just talking about old friends coming by. How are you, dear? Yeah, I want to get my head back into traveling again. Periscope is done. Yep. They're killing it the end of March. Right now, you're watching me are you on Periscope right now? Because right now I'm broadcasting from HAPS. So I would recommend, if you're interested in more broadcasts, still being a part of the community, it will be missed. Yep. HAPS is a great app that's going to be taken over from Periscope. I'm broadcasting right now on Twitch, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, Periscope. Is that it? I think that's it. Facebook Live, Twitter Live, Twitch, YouTube. Twitch is the new Periscope. Yeah, I'm broadcasting on there as well. The multicast from HAPS. So that's why I say HAPS is going to be my new home, because I can broadcast everywhere from this app. But as long as you come around, wherever you come from, whatever you're watching me on, as long as you're watching me, as long as my friends are with me, use whatever service is most comfortable for you. I even think that I'm watching on Grindr. I think that I'm hoping at some point, what new app instead of Periscope? The app that I'm using right now is called HAPS, HAPPS. You can download it on your phone, HAPPS. You can download it on your phone. You can also use it from your computer as well. Hey, Chris, how you doing, sir? If you're on a computer, you can go to happs.tv as well. But this app lets me broadcast to other apps. Once I build up my TikTok following, I think you need like 1,000 viewers and stuff like that. Once I build up my TikTok following, at some point I'll be able to broadcast on TikTok as well. We met in 2015. I know, right? Cuckoo. Crazy. It's the jerk. Hiya, Chris. I'm about to head to the East Coast. All right, excellent. With Pam, yeah. I don't think it was 2015, was it? Yeah, I think it was. October? September? October? I think it was September. Jade. Hello. Hello, buddy. Do I miss Florida? Not really. Nope. I left Florida and moved up to Knoxville, Tennessee, and it's pretty much the best of both worlds. The temperature wise in Knoxville, it never gets over 80 degrees for the most part. Maybe like a week out of the year, it might go above 80 degrees. It never goes below 30 degrees, except for maybe like a week out of the year. There's mountains, there's, rivers and lakes and like forest. It's like plenty of nature to enjoy. A lot of it's just become super familiar for me. It's pretty cool. So, if I were to consider a place home, it would be Knoxville, because it's a great location. You're about a few hours away from anywhere, really. I don't have numbers, but it's comfortable. Like, it's not super city-ish. There is a city if you want to visit it. There are highways all over the place. You can go in all sorts of different directions. Like, Knoxville is kind of like, Knoxville is surrounded by highway. Like, if you make a circle and then you draw a line up from the circle, down from the circle, left and right from the circle. In the middle is Knoxville. The circle is highway, and then you can go off and go north, to wherever. Like, it branches off the highway to everything else. But it's pretty. It's like an egg. You can literally drive around Knoxville super easy, because one of the highways goes over and one of the highways goes under. It's a great little setup. But yeah, I dig it. I like Knoxville. I like Tennessee. My cats, I hope at this point that they're in a good home. I kept them together and surrendered them to a place that came really recommended, and they seem like awesome people. Like, I know they have taken care of them. At this point, like I said, I hope they're in a good home. But I haven't had any pets in the past, in a while. At some point down the road, because this van, it's a tiny van. There are 2 seats and a bed. It's not a good place to have 2 cats. It wouldn't work. No place to put a litter box or food. It would smell horrible. It would just be not a good environment. At some point, I would like to get a Boston Terrier. Like, I would like to get a small dog that, easy to take care of. This would be a good environment, I think, or it would be a good scenario for that. Who lives in Pam's house? I don't know. I don't know that Pam's parents have done anything with the house other than fix it up. They might have put it on the market. Yeah, cats need a house to roam around. Exactly. But a Boston Terrier would be great, because they love to snuggle and they're not super active, but they are active. So you could easily put a harness and a leash on a Boston Terrier and go walk around. They like half an hour a day, 45 minutes a day, something like that. So that would be preferable, I think, for the both of us. Me and Melvin. Boston Terrier, already named him Melvin. Someday. But no, I have no idea. I don't keep in contact with Pam's parents at all. I was in a relationship with Pam, not with her parents. So I left, and who knows? Who knows what's happening with the house? It was under Pam's name, so Pam's parents get the house. So that was it. You should have married her. I didn't want to marry her, and she didn't. I didn't want to get married, and she didn't want to get married. But we both talked about it, and we both said that we didn't want to do it. So it was a mutual agreement. But we belong to each other. That was the important part. Who needs marriage, really? Marriage is an institution. Marriage is a contract, and we didn't need to be. We had a written agreement, a verbal agreement. I'll put it that way. We had a handshake agreement. Well, we shook a lot more than hands. Um, yeah, that's all old stuff, though. Marriage and houses and pools and pets and yeah. Did you get rubber ducky from pool? Well, why? No. It was a pool cleaner. It was a chlorine thing, pool cleaner. And I don't have a pool, so I wouldn't need it. Live your life now, be strong, find your path in life, do what makes you happy. Trying. I'm trying. I'm certainly a lot better off now than I was 6 months ago, 7 months ago, because I had a hard time. If it weren't for being on here and having a means to talk to people and communicate with my friends, and have that support system, and if it weren't for me deciding to do something as drastic as a change, as giving up the majority of my possessions and my RV and my car and getting this van and deciding to live in my van, if it weren't for that huge change to occupy my time, I probably wouldn't be alive right now. So I'm glad things worked out. Things are working out, put it that way. I love you too, Jenna. Thank you. It's going to get loud, but my feet are cold. My legs are cold, I should say. I got to put the heater on just for a second. Yeah. I'm still alive. And I'm not completely crazy. Nor do I completely hate myself. So I'm on the other end of it. I had a very dark time for a little while, but make some changes. The world needs Matt. 3231 for life. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for saying that. You're a strong person. I have faith in you and your arms. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Things could be better, obviously. Things could, I think everybody could say that. You take a look at your life and say, it would be really nice if I had this, that, and the other. But where you are isn't so, where I am right now isn't so bad. You know, uh, yeah, I'm sure everybody could come up with a short list of 3 things that could improve their quality of life. But you can be in Georgia for a visit. That would be better. That could be Paul Heyman 2.0. When you start dating again, maybe you need a companion. That's an interesting question. Would I start dating again? I don't think that's anything to consider anytime soon. But coming at it from a certain way. Always nice to make new friends. I am not against meeting people and seeing how I vibe with people and seeing if I can make new friends, and at some point maybe some of those friends could turn into more than friends, to see where a relationship naturally develops and to see who's drawn towards me and who's repulsed from me, kind of thing. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't call it dating per se. Like, I'm not looking to mate with anyone. I'm not looking, but companions come in different forms. You know, I think that's the way that I should look at things from now on, is allow people to come into my life and vibe with them and see how things go. Um, yeah, on a case by case basis. Yeah, I'm not. It's not like there's a job opening kind of a thing, and I'm accepting applications or, you know, anything like that. I don't know if I'm of that sort of value to someone. You know, I don't know if I'm interested in anybody that's interested in me, and you know, take what I can get, sort of thing. That's pretty much the way to look at it. Thank you for the super heart, Jenna. You know, there have been people that I've met on Periscope. Um, one recently, a few months back, that we talked a little bit on social media, and we vibed, and we got together, and we had a great weekend, and then that was pretty much it. And we talk to each other once in a while and say hey and that sort of thing. So let's do 80s music like you used to. Sure, absolutely. Would love to. But yeah, um, that's what I'd like to do. Hey, you seem kind of cool. Yeah, you seem kind of cool too. Let's hang out. All right. Maybe we can get together for a weekend, see what happens. All right. Get together, spend a weekend, fool around or not. You know, do something fun or just sit and talk or cuddle or whatever. And always down for an experience. Doesn't necessarily have, you know, it's always a relationship. Anytime you spend time with anybody, it's a relationship. It's just a matter, you know, what's the nature of the relationship. That's how I have to reform my brain. That's how I have to. That's the way that I want to perceive life, as a series of moments. Matt is a great guy, folks. We can learn a lot from him. I'm learning as well, so you can learn from me. Allow me to experiment in my way, and if it succeeds or fails, you guys gain the experience from my experience, from my experiments. That's what I want to do. That's the contribution I want to make, is documenting in some way, vlogging or whatever you want to call it, about, you know, the concepts of conventional living, and you know, the challenging the ideas of relationships and what they mean, what they should be. Maybe somebody can watch this and it'll change their perspective. Maybe they can gain from a different perspective on things. But it's part of my spirituality. I want to experience relationships in a different way. I follow you now on Twitch. Excellent. Thank you so much. Oh, something on PayPal. What's PayPal? Have a cup of coffee on us. Oh, I love you, Jenna. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. And just when I'm out of coffee, I can buy another one. Thank you, Jenna. Let's go to breakfast, right? I will, probably in about 15 minutes. I'll get off here and I'll go grab me a coffee. Yeah, I have the ability now, being alone, um, the limited time I have left on Earth, who knows how long that is, to experience life. I think that's important for me to experience life now, and that I can afford, in a way, to test some theories, test some scenarios. You know, challenge the concept of how does somebody live daily? How does somebody live for the moment? And challenge the idea of living is the best one. Can't take you out to eat, but I can help with some love. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, does a man need a roof? Yes, but what form does that roof take? Is that a stable, or like a static roof over one's head? Can it be portable? People need a roof and walls and a floor, but that could be a vehicle. People need a bed, someplace comfortable to sleep, someplace secure. Um, Food, the ability to, use the bathroom. Um, Not a lot more. What's comfort? How little comfort can you live with? Can you live with less? How many clothes? How much clothes does a person need? You know, like I've come to find out, a week's worth of clothes is just fine. And if you need something different, then you get something different when you get an opportunity. But um, how does one survive? Not just survive, but how does one live comfortably with less? What's the concept of being homeless and not being homeless? What is a home? Um, you know, what is property? All that stuff. All right, Momo. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you are back later. Just started cleaning out to achieve less. Yeah. What? Because how much do you need? If you're one person living by yourself, do you need a coffee mug? You certainly don't need 12 coffee mugs, you know? And that seems to be one of the main things about a house is it gives you a place to pack in stuff, get stuff, you got a place to put your stuff, kind of thing. 7 bags of trash bags of clothes. Yep. Yep. It's tough for some people to think about it, because if you start to examine one aspect of life, then it just leads you to examine more, and some people just don't want to deal with that. It just starts the ball rolling, and it's a whole can of worms kind of thing. Too much, but now it's gone. If you have children, children want toys. Children want things, and you want to give them things. And if there's a purpose behind it, there's a feeling behind it, so that makes sense. In your life, people come and go, and they give you gifts, and you want to keep the gifts because they're like memories. They're tangible memory type things. So I can understand that. And then you want to take pictures because and have pictures around the house because you want to celebrate knowing people and memories, and it fills your house with these certain things. But especially when Hubs is working 50 hours a week, so a lot is just on me. I started looking at it, it's a lot more to keep clean. Yeah, yeah. And there's also the natural thing of wanting to, um, wanting to stockpile food, and to keep. You want things that will help your family survive, and just in case, cans of food and boxes of food, and like paper towels and toilet paper and garbage bags, and cleaning supplies, and grooming supplies. There's so many things that just build up over time. Can't have a drawer, you need a pantry. uh so a house is a lot of stuff, but we're also living in a day and age when things are readily available. We have 2 weeks worth just in case, but it's in the basement. Yeah. You can acquire stuff, and that's not a bad thing when you're trying to care for a family, sort of a thing. um but and there's nothing to say that I couldn't find a storage space somewhere, in Tennessee, have a storage space that I can keep cans and boxes of stuff. And as long as I store them properly, away, from animals or whatever, and in certain weather conditions, especially with dietary needs, got to plan ahead. Yeah, exactly. But for me, I don't need a lot of stuff. I can figure out a way to store things if I need it, but I don't need it. I haven't come across a situation where it's like, okay, and if that ever comes along, then I'll change my attitude. But I've taught Jay that we shouldn't have emotional attachments to plastic toys. Yeah, I've done a lot of that. I've done a lot of the holding on to the past. Um, Something that my mom is very attached to is remembering families, remembering lineage, um, remembering brothers and sisters, and the wives of brothers and sisters, and then the extended family, the cousins, and aunts and uncles, and their aunts and uncles and cousins, and you know grandmothers, and the whole genealogy thing, and then the neighbors wherever I lived, remembering every neighbor on the street and who they were related to, and their connection to, just like remembering everything. When you're living in a small town like Northfield, New Hampshire, or Tilton, New Hampshire, when you're living way back in the day when you had like a dirt floor basement, and you know we're getting around the turn, the 40s and 50s, and then the 20s, and then the turn of the century, kind of thing. It's like that's something that's important to her, is remembering those things, and having that knowledge, and like I said, the genealogy of it, but not just genealogy like relatives, but going into like friends and stuff like that too, and other people that lived, friends of your grandfather, people, the co-workers of your grandfather, and who they knew, and stuff like that. um I dump everything. I know, brothers, sisters-in-law, nieces and nephews, my mom, and that's pretty much it. I don't care to know who was married to who, on what street, when I was 2 or before I was born, or I'm like, I don't need to know any of that stuff. I don't need pictures. I don't. That's something that my mom enjoys, but it's not something that I do. I don't hold on to the past. Way too much about the future. Yeah, I could do that when I was younger, but now I just don't give two. Yeah. Now it's a matter of, how do I live comfortably now, and entertain myself with, what is the future going to look like? You know, what about your winter clothes? I'll get I got a coat. I got long pants. Uh, you know, a couple pairs of like pajama bottoms, pretty much. Like they're comfortable. They're warm. I got socks. I got a decent pair of shoes. I got boots and stuff like that. I got flip flops or whatever. I got like my cargo shorts. I got a handful of t-shirts. You know, like a week, maybe 2 weeks of t-shirts. I'm fine. That's all I need. I got a coat if it rains. I got a coat if it's cold. And I got 2 hoodies for kind of cold or kind of rain. But I got enough. I got a hat. I got 2 hats. I have a warm hat and I have a cap. I don't need more than that. I could store cans and boxes under my bed if I wanted to, but I don't need to, because I don't want to eat anything in cans. If there's an emergency, then I'll deal with the emergency on a case-by-case basis. But for now, I'm doing all right just going to the store and buying a salad, piece of chicken. $3 to buy some greens. It won't break the bank. How much, Jenna, can you tell me how much it cost? And anybody watching right now, because Jenna's the only one talking to me, so I don't know who else is paying attention right now, but if anyone else is paying attention, how much, can you do the math and figure out how much it cost you to eat for one day? Just you. You know, you need a lot, but all the other stuff, I just want to let go. It's possible. In fact, it's more possible to be happy with less. Having a whole lot of stuff versus having very little stuff, it's very easy, very simple to be happy with less. Like, I feel happy now. I may not always be happy. Of course, I often wish that I had certain things, but so I only eat 2 times a day. I only eat 2 times a day also. But I mean, how much does that cost you? The two times a day that you eat. What is at the end of the day? How much money do you think? Like $10 or less is all I need. That's about the same as me. I'm probably $10 to $15 a day. Anytime I buy anything, anytime I spend anything more, it's usually something to last me. Like I'm buying utensils, or I'm buying instead of 1 soda, I buy a 6-pack of soda if I ever do. A bag of chips could last me a couple days. Yeah, if I spend any more than $15, then it's something that's going to carry over to the next day. That's what I figured. That's kind of what I figured. People are well, not all people, but my lunch is a $1.75 protein shake. No, you know what? I take that back. Well, I've been treating myself also. Yeah, okay, so $15. All right, so it'd be $25 then, because I also, but that's kind of treating myself. I treat myself in the morning to a coffee and a breakfast sandwich. So that's $8. So we'll say about $23. $23 is about how much I spend on myself. But that's treating myself, and I don't necessarily need to have all that. And I probably could, if I had a fridge, I probably could make that stretch for a little bit longer. Once or twice a week, go out with a friend for dinner. Yeah, I hear you. If I could get my friends to give me $5 a day, if I could make $5 a day online, that could cut my food budget in half. Someone pay for my coffee, and I can drop down to $10 a day. I figure that's my mental break away from the kids. Sure. And you know what? That's an important expense. Like that is allowed. You're allowed to treat yourself. Sometimes that's it. You know, when you're going through your day, you're going through your week, sometimes that's the gift that you receive is from yourself. The only gift you receive. 2 special needs kids, I need a break. Yep. Every once in a while, somebody needs to do something nice for you. It's nice that somebody does something nice for you. And best of all, it's you that does it. You treating yourself good, you giving a gift to yourself, appreciating yourself, and doing something like that is an important thing. Because sometimes that's all you get. I feel that. Facebook user with no name says, "Hey man, how's things? I remember the walks from Periscope days. Hope you're well. Please identify yourself, Facebook user. Hello, and how are you?" Yeah, well, hubby giving me the money to go. He's awesome. Yeah, that's true too. That's also important to have somebody there that can support you. You know, that can show support for you. That's cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna get going. It's been about an hour, so let me get going here. And actually, it's been longer than an hour. I don't know why my thing says I've been live for an hour. I think I've been long. I've been on since 9, and it's 11. It's 10:44. That's weird. Yep, and I don't ask for a lot. Yeah, it says I've been live for an hour, and I've actually been on for an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, weird. So all right, I'm gonna get going. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for folks who have just dropped in for a little bit. Always appreciate that. Jenna, thanks for sticking around and hanging out with me for a while and talking with me. Whether you come in for a bit to say hi, whether you stick around and talk part of the conversation, I appreciate you all. And anybody new that's watching maybe the replay, if you haven't followed me yet, please follow me. And also please share the broadcast with your friends. Always nice to make new friends. You can catch me all over the social media, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever. I mean, I'm all over the freaking place. Just go on the internet, look up at 3231. It's at 3TWO3ONE. And you'll find me there. Talk to me. Let's hang out. And keep in touch with me. I love you as well. Be safe and happy and healthy. Know that you're loved. And I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.